Warning, incoming game over. Warning, incoming game over.
Yo, 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 yo. What's good? Game over, Edmonton. I'm back. It's your boy, Avry Lewis-McDougall here, back in the host chair for the first time for 2024-2025 of Game Over Edmonton. New era, same host, same hats, same outfits. And look at that, an Edmonton Oilers victory. Edmonton knocks off Nashville 4-2 on the road, once again continuing their winning ways in Nashville. What is about this Oilers team that always finds a way to win in Nashville? Always finds a way to get it done over the past few years. Shockingly, we didn't see Leon Draisaitl have a 9 or 10-point night or just go supernova on the Predators in Nashville like he always does. But either way, a very fun game. If you're an Oilers fan watching tonight, Edmonton gets their second win of the season. And now they got a little bit of a winning streak going on now. After the win over Philadelphia, they knock off Nashville on the road. And 2 games in a row in which Edmonton has a come-from-behind victory. Remember, Nashville got things started tonight. Philip Forsberg, the man with the very slick mustache, got the scoring started for Edmonton. Sorry, not Nashville. Sorry, Philip Forsberg. That would be an 8. Philip Forsberg in an Edmonton jersey. That would be nice. That would be nice to see, but no. Philip Forsberg for Nashville got the scoring started in this game, and it was one in which Edmonton, again, fought through the power play, having its struggles. They fought through at times guys like Darnell Nurse, Ryan Hopkins struggling, but still a great game tonight for guys like Jeff Skinner. We saw Brett Kulak have 2 goals tonight, and Connor McDavid stepped up with a goal tonight as well. So this team is getting this team I think is slowly but surely figuring things out. They're getting it together. We all knew they would. I've said it before. We've all said it before on Game Over. Heck, I said it on City TV a few days ago, how Edmonton, as we know historically, starts off slow to start a year. Very rarely do you see the Oilers, guns a-blazing, coming out the gate to start an NHL season. It's either a very pedestrian start or it's a start that makes you go, oh, what's going on here? It's such an Oilers hockey thing, so I'm not going to panic. I mean, look at the starts from other teams across the league, like Colorado, like Nashville, Vancouver. Some of the juggernauts, or teams that are supposed to be juggernauts, have all stumbled early, and these are teams I think will all figure it out as the season goes on. I'm not expecting a major drop-off from the Oilers or a team like, say, a Vancouver or a team like a Colorado. Every one of these teams is going to find a way to figure it out. Every one of these teams is going to be playing playoff hockey and come this April or come this May. And hey, if they aren't, I'll eat my hat live on air. No, I won't. But before we continue, we want to plug our friends here in Game Over Network at Hyperdrive Hockey. We got to say, check out the flagship show of the Game Over Network on the Game Over Network channel, Hyperdrive Hockey. They talk all things hockey across various leagues in multiple countries, whatever it is and wherever it is. Max, Daphne, and Kevin, they got you covered. They're your people for hockey news that's funny and very engaging. You can find Hyperdrive Hockey on the Game Over Network YouTube channel or wherever you get your favorite podcasts on the Hyperdrive Hockey page at thegameovernetwork.com. Hyperdrive Hockey, tap in. It's a great trio there. shows twice a week, so make sure you watch that show. But like I mentioned here in our first segment, again, Edmonton, the domination in Nashville. It's been fun to see for the past few years. Coming into this game, they were 14-1-1 11-1-1. Yeah, 11-1-1, now 12-1-1 in Nashville, Tennessee. Whatever it is, this team just has momentum playing in Music City, and it looked like early on, UC Saros was going to figure things out. Saros made some really big saves after Edmonton had that onslaught of shots early. At one point, this game was 8-0 Edmonton in shots. Everyone from the Edmonton roster was getting traffic through to Saros. They're getting pucks on net. But UC Saros early in this game was standing up strong, looking great. I mean, at one point, the shots in this game were 23-9 for Edmonton. I mean, this team was relentless when it came to firing pucks on net, as you should, as you have to be if you're the Edmonton Oilers to create chances in a game like this, in which you want to get momentum going early. You want to get back on the right foot again after that dramatic win over Philadelphia, in which you come from behind, being down 2-0. You get a nice win in the final game of your first homestand. So we'll see if Edmonton can keep this going against Dallas in an afternoon game on Saturday afternoon, which I'll be back in the saddle hosting that game again. You're going to get some more of me hosting that game against the Dallas Stars in Dallas. And I mentioned that game too because Edmonton now is finding ways to win afternoon games. And if you watch Oilers hockey long enough, you know that winning games in the afternoon wasn't the thing Edmonton could do very often. Actually, not very often at all. They didn't win games before 2 p.m. Before 6 p.m. And they can do it now. They've done it before, and they did it last year in Dallas. With Callum Pickard in net in that game, I know Pickard played tonight, and Callum Pickard made some good saves, had 25 saves in the night. He was reliable. He was reliable for the Oilers team in a scheduled start tonight. I'd imagine Stuart Skinner gets the start against Dallas on Saturday afternoon, but Pickard was serviceable. He made the saves that he had to make to keep this team in the game. Made big saves early and big saves late. So I was very pleased with the effort of Calvin Pickard tonight for the Oilers in net. And of course, with Game Over Edmonton, when we get to overtime, please let me have your questions, your comments, your complaints. This show is always interactive, always fun. Love hearing from the fans of Game Over Edmonton. And I see my guy Manny in the chat here. Shout out to Avry. This is the recap we all need. Thank you, Manny. Appreciate that. Hey, yo. Manny's a good buddy of mine out in New York. You know, hey, if you're a wrestling fan, you like black wrestling content, tap into the Black Announce table. Manny's one of the co-hosts for that. They do good work down there talking wrestling from a black perspective. Anyway, like I was saying again, strong performance in Nashville. Huge credit to guys like Jeff Skinner getting to the net, getting in on the forecheck. And Jeff Skinner's always been a guy who we know has a nose for the net. He gets another point. 4 points as an Oiler so far. And Jeff Skinner has been money well spent for the Edmonton Oilers. That was a fantastic move to bring him in. Only a 1-year deal, and it's early. But so far, Skinner is showing he was a smart investment to bring in that Oilers forward unit. And someone else who I thought played really well was Corey Perry. Corey Perry has shown that, yes, he's up there. Yes, there were concerns after the Cup final on, is he a tad bit slow? Is he able to keep up with the pace right now of the NHL after we saw in the Cup final? But right now, Corey Perry generating chances. He's physical. Getting pucks to the net. We saw him get into that fight against Philly. He's mean. He's big. So if Corey Perry can turn back the clock again, and we're not going to get a Corey Perry, obviously, who won the Hart Trophy. Those days are long gone. But a Corey Perry who can be big in front of the net, can chip in with a goal here and there, generate chances. That's going to be a solid guy in Edmonton's bottom six, or when maybe you move him up in spurts to play in the top six. So Skinner and Perry have impressed me so far in this early stretch of Oiler games. And again, going from that, but there's a couple of guys who I think all of us really want to see a bit more of going forward this season. And it's got to be Darnell Nurse and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Those are two guys who look a tad bit off to start the season. Not much from Nuge in terms of points and chances. And Darnell still looks a little bit off when it comes to his play in the defensive end of the ice. We know he's been tried with a few different partners to start the year. And I still have a lot of hope for Darnell as someone who is going to deliver, who's someone who is going to get the job done on the back end. But right now, he looks still a little bit tense when it comes to making that breakout pass, when it comes to finding that man. I mean, we know Darnell is a great puck carrier. We know he's someone who can get to the net. He can be a strong offensive defenseman. He can be physical. But something about Darnell's game right now still looks a little bit off when it comes to moving the puck. And I do hope that that does turn around going forward, because you're going to need the contributions of a Darnell Nurse come December, January, February, when you're in a race for the Pacific Division, when you're down the stretch trying to get positioning going into a first round series. So I want to see how Darnell can improve, because I do think he's a good defenseman. He's shown before he can be a leader on this team when called upon. So hopefully he does get through this little slump right now in the opening few games here for the Oilers. And before we head to the second segment, we do want to get to our next ad from LaRouche. Game Over Network is an independent production focused on community, inclusion, and quality people. If you're interested in supporting the Game Over Network, we have crowdfunding options available. In the description of this episode, you'll find a link to our Patreon page, and we're also working on a page through LaRouche, a crowdfunding platform for companies originating in Quebec. For LaRouche, we're aiming to raise $15,000, and if we hit that goal, we'll gain access to government grants that will allow us to employ more people, and we all want that. If you have any ideas for what you'd like to see us, if you have any ideas for what you'd like to see us have as giveaways from these crowdfunding efforts, let us know in the comments on Twitter, Instagram, or on our Discord server. Yes, so help us out. If you want to help us out, that would be very, very appreciated here for Game Over Edmonton and Game Over in general. Oh, sorry again. Whoops, sorry again. There we go. We're getting through it. We're getting through the kinks here. First show of the year. We're getting through it. All right, second segment here on Game Over Edmonton. So we got to address the elephant in the room, not relating to one player, but it's obviously the power play. The power play, which was so strong last season. The power play, which made so many people quake in their boots. The power play that made so many teams fear taking a penalty against Edmonton, is still struggling. It's still not that good this year. And it's another thing that I do think Edmonton will sort out later in this season. But you want your special teams play to come out of the gate looking good. And you can say it probably is still a level of hangover. It probably is still trying to sort things out, because they're getting chances. They're getting chances in the power play, but it feels like at times there's still one too many pass across the box. There's a pass too many when there should be a shot on the power play. too many times this Oilers team is trying to, for lack of a better term, trying to Harlem Globetrotters the puck into the net. And last year it worked, but this year it's got to get better. This year it's got to be a little bit less passing. It's going to be just getting pucks on net. Tonight the power play was 0 for 4. And when you got guys like Connor McDavid, Leon Draisaitl, Evan Bouchard, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, as a part of your power play unit, that can't happen. 0 for 4 tonight. And against Philly, it wasn't great against the Flyers either. And it makes you wonder, what exactly is Chris Knoblauch going to do to help get that back on track? Because this is a power play. Most of the guys who are on that power play are still here in Edmonton. The bulk of that unit is still in Edmonton. The bulk of that core is still here that made that power play hum so efficiently. So seeing it come out of the gate looking very slow, very, very anemic is tough to see. And if, again, similar to the play of guys like Hopkins and Nurse, that power play is going to have to click eventually. But when it does get going, oh boy, look out. When it does get going, that's going to be a scary sight to see. But early on, it's just too much waiting when it comes to this team being on the man advantage. It's not inflicting fear in anybody else right now. Too many shots are being blocked, not enough getting through. I mean, they're getting the puck in the zone, but none of it's beating goaltender. I mean, the power play again against Philadelphia, it was 0 for 4 against the Flyers. In a win, yes, but again, it was 0 for 4. The power play in the past 2 games has been 0 for 8. Very un-Oilers-like, and I'm sure we'll get to comments on that, because that is one thing that anybody here in the chat is watching and thinking, wow, that isn't common. That needs to change. And I'm sitting here saying to myself, what more can this team do to get that working beyond cutting back on a pass or two and just letting it fire? And also, too, not enough shots from high danger zones on the power play as well, too. There's still a lot of shots from the point on the power play, but there's got to be far more from inside 5 feet to beat a goaltender. Because right now it's a little bit predictable right now, in which you know this team is going to shoot from the blue line, but they need to get more shots on net from inside 5 feet, especially on a goaltender as good as UC Saros, especially on someone like a UC Saros. That power play has to, as we knock our notes down, that power play has to get better from inside 5 feet to get back to being a key cog in Edmonton's offense. I don't think tonight I love seeing how many Oilers fans travel to Nashville. Anytime this team goes out to a game in Nashville, Tennessee, Oilers fans appear in droves. Edmonton and Nashville, these are 2 markets that have great fan support. It is so dope to see how these fans out there travel, no matter where it is in that area. I guess I've never been to Nashville or Texas, but I'm sure people in the chat can inform me. I guess there has to be enclaves of massive Oilers fans or Albertans in general who call Nashville home or call Dallas home, because it can't all be fans flying down to the game. It can't all be visiting fans there. There's got to be some fans who live down there. I mean, it was fun seeing Ryan Smith in Nashville. We know Smitty lives down there full time now, so whenever they play in Tennessee, you always see Ryan Smith down there at a game, enjoying himself, talking to the guys, talking to the fellas. So that was definitely fun to see here on Game Over Edmonton. And we're going to get some guests coming in for Game Over Edmonton in the future. We're going to get some fun people tapping in post-game. I'm working on some people to get on, so that is going to be very, very fun to watch. But also, speaking of Game Over, when this is all done here, make sure in the morning, you gotta make sure to tap in to Game On Edmonton. That is going to get you right. That's going to get you recapped in terms of what happened last night. And it's going to get your morning started right come tomorrow. Because Game Over Edmonton, we cover you after the game. But to get ready for the next game, you got to watch Game On Edmonton as well. Game On Edmonton is a short-form daily news podcast covering everything you need to know about the Edmonton Oilers, hosted by Mosimann. Get all your Oiler news in under 10 minutes, Monday through Friday, on the Game Over YouTube channel and in podcast form, which you can find here on the Game Over on the GameOver.com page /Edmonton. Yes. All right, third segment. We're getting close. We are getting close. Can you feel it in your bones? Can you feel it? We're getting close to the question period. We're getting close to overtime. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel overtime getting close? All right, overtime here. So as we start to wrap things up here on Game Over Edmonton, before we get to the overtime segment, I do want to point out how it was nice to see again Connor McDavid once again getting a point. Seeing Connor McDavid score. I talked about guys who had started a bit slowly, but seeing Connor McDavid finally get a goal here against Nashville in tight, that is a thing that can give confidence to this team in a major way. Seeing your leader step up in large part because the big questions we're going through the first couple of games here was, what's up with Connor? What's up with Leon? Is everything okay? As far as I know, things are going right with Leon. Things are okay. Things are good. No need to panic. No need to worry yourself. Connor is doing just fine. Things are good with Connor McDavid. So that is someone who I definitely think is going to get out of his funk. He's going to get things going right now. But I do want to give a major shout out to Brett Kulak. Talk about the back here. Talk about scoring. Brett Kulak with 2 goals tonight in this victory. And that goal past UC Saros. It looked like that shot came off his stick with some hate. That puck came off his stick with some hate. Brett Kulak every so often can show you he can rip it. He's got a shot from the point that, would I ever stand in front of that? Not a chance. Not a chance would I ever stand in front of a Brett Kulak blast. I like being able to walk too much. I like being able to live without broken bones. There is no way I'm standing in front of a Brett Kulak shot. But that was a really solid game for him as well. On top of McDavid scoring, Brett Kulak having 2 goals tonight. The blast past Saros and the empty net goal to help seal things. Great game for him. I've been really impressed with him so far this year. And even last year, he's a very, very stable blue liner. We've known that since he came over from Montreal. He's always been very steady on the blue line and able to chip in with a point here or there. Even though that's not mainly his game, he's got the ability to give you a goal here and there when you need it. So that was great to see from Brett Kulak tonight in the victory. So if you got more blue liners stepping up like that, that's going to be a really, really great sign for the Oilers here going forward. And before we get to game over, before we get to overtime, we do want to point out and we do want to let you know that Game Over merch, yes, Game Over merch is here. Game Over merchandise is here. What better way to support something you love than by rocking it as clothing? Game Over's apparel line has dropped with these unique designs. Whether you feel nostalgic, or whether you feel nostalgic pull of a retro skater design, want to make a statement with our established design currently on sale, want to wear your love for goalies proudly with our live or die with our live and die design. Or if you need another coffee to get you through the winter, we got mugs for you. You're taken care of. Designed by our guy, Brady Chalice from Game Over Winnipeg. Use the QR code on stream and use that code to make a purchase, to head through our apparel store. Take a look and help us build local sports media in Canada while repping your community. I know you want a mug. I know you want a hoodie. The QR code, it's right there to help you out, baby. Oh, you know what? I need to get myself some gear as well, too. I don't have any modern Game Over Edmonton gear. So, I'm going to get some, most likely, once we sign off. Gotta represent the brand. Gotta stay strong here on Game Over Edmonton. Anyways, with that being said, we're into Game Over. We're into overtime, sorry. So please, if you got any questions, comments, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know. Give me your thoughts. What were you impressed by? What do you want to see more of going forward in the game against Dallas? What do you want to see in general? I see Janias McKay. We won. Awesome. Yes. The fans are excited. People are fired up. People are in a good mood tonight because when Game 1 and Game 2 happened, I saw quite a bit of, here we go again. Here we go again. The struggles are coming for this team. The struggles are coming. I saw even a couple of, if this team goes 2-9-1 again, we're done. Now, I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think so. I think this team is saying, you know what? We can't stumble that hard once again, or else we're not going to get back into it. That 2-9-1 start last year and the recovery to go with a 16-game win streak, that was a once-in-a-lifetime thing. You're not seeing that again if this team did do that. But I do think the momentum here is going to continue on into Dallas, Texas. You're going to see a stronger effort. You're going to hopefully see a team with some more jump once again that doesn't have to play from behind like they did against Philadelphia and against Nashville again tonight. But you know what? We'll see. We'll definitely see. His team gets a travel day on Friday. They get back into things on Saturday afternoon. So that'll be a fun game to tap in and watch and enjoy. And hey, Edmonton-Dallas games, they're always fun. These are two of the, when it comes to roster, better teams in the NHL. You gotta respect guys like Miro Heiskanen, Jason Robertson, and again, the veterans, the guys like Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin. This is still a very dangerous team in the NHL's Central Division, in the Western Conference. To me, Dallas is still my pick to win the Central. Dallas is still my pick to win the Central Division, and we might get another Edmonton-Dallas playoff series again this season. It wouldn't shock me if once again we see the Stars and Oilers clashing. It'll be fun because last year I had a lot of fun watching those two teams play in the postseason. I mean, Game 6, that was certainly tense. That certainly was one of the more tense playoff games you're ever going to see in Rogers Place. But hey, either way, that was still fun. So we'll go on for a couple of more minutes here. If you have any questions, comments, let me know. I know it's a I know it's a weekday. It's a weeknight. So people are probably getting ready for bed, getting ready for work tomorrow. If it was Friday, the chat might be a little bit more active. If it was a Friday night or a Saturday night or even a Sunday, we might get some more comments. But yeah, again, hey, thanks to Manny for tapping in. I know Manny's been trying to be more of an NHL guy now. He's trying to consume more hockey action. So good to see Manny tapping in the chat. Always fun to see people from different regions across North America tapping in the hockey and NHL content. I saw Christian Cox, first comment we got here tonight, just a giant yo. But yeah, it was fun tapping in again tonight for Game Over Edmonton. You will see me on Saturday afternoon. I'm going to be hosting things once again on Saturday, so you're going to get used to seeing my face here once again, along with Graham, along with Austin here on the new era of the Game Over Network. Independent, supporting fresh content creators across all 7 NHL markets. Before I go, please give this channel a like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell your frenemies about Game Over Edmonton and all of our shows across the country, from Edmonton, Winnipeg, Calgary, Toronto, Ottawa, Montreal, Vancouver. We love doing this. We love creating content for you post-game and during the week as we expand the Game Over Network. It is a blast. Thank you all for tapping in. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you chose to spend your Thursday night with yours truly. I'm Avry, and I am out of here. Talk to you all again on Saturday afternoon after the Oilers take on Dallas. Peace.